Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Errol Ebanks, and welcome to the 11th episode of Every Moment with Errol E. And today we have an amazing guest, and her name is Lysa. Now, before we go and interview Lysa, I asked her this one question. I was like, what's a good topic we can talk about? And she responded, that is a loaded question. But she mentioned self acceptance, reflection, mom guilt, and there's no such thing as balance. So, everyone who's watching, you're in for a treat. So, we're going to be interviewing Lysa with Every Moment with Errol E. But before we dive in, let's kick that wonderful intro.
You're listening to Every Moment with Errol E. We believe that every moment deserves a better story, and on this podcast, we tell those stories. Here's your host, Errol E.
Hey everyone. All right. Well, welcome, Lysa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Nervous?
A little bit because I was very ill prepared for this. I did not realize I was going to be live on camera and did not
No.
didn't just
Fine.
ignore this back here.
It is fine. That's fine. That is fine. That is fine. So before we dive into like the questions and everything, how was your day?
It was good. It was good. Just got off work and came home, had some dinner.
Nice. What'd you eat?
I actually had breakfast for dinner. I had a avocado and egg toast.
Ooh. Nice. Kind of a little bit. Avocados are okay for me, but it's not
Oh
like
no, I thought we were friends.
I know. I know. But it's just an acquired taste for me. I gotta maybe put in a smoothie. Maybe I'll feel.
So you don't like guacamole?
I had a bad experience with guac.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So, well, before we dive into like everything, let's go back. Like the first time I guess we met, and it was at Wilmington University.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was like the computer lab, but then they moved our class upstairs and I took some lady's seat by mistake. I remember that.
Yes, it was actually our photography class. I think it was photography 101 or something like that.
Yep.
And you sat in someone else's seat, which was next to me. And then our professor paired us up together for a project.
Mm-hmm.
And then you came over to my house and I made a fake, like a crazy background, and we took some headshots.
Yep.
And then the teacher was like, Errol, have you ever taken pictures before? And you're like, well, I mean, it was just like a point and shoot camera.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you have talent. Like, oh my God, I don't even know what to spell back there. He's like, you have talent. And then ever since then, you've just become this amazing photographer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like those years were interesting at Wilmington University. It was like me, you, Angela, Tato, Andrea, like Jeff. I mean, like, yeah.
Fun times.
So when you was at Wilmington University, you took up video production.
Yeah, broadcast journalism, video production. I got my thing right up here.
There you go. So what do you like about the broadcast journalism?
Well, so originally the reason why I took it was because I wanted to be a journalist. And then I decided as I was taking classes, like, oh, you know what? I would love to be a reporter. I think that would be amazing. And I forget who came to speak and told us about a time, like when the 9/11 happened. She said she was called off of her vacation with her family to come cover 9/11. And then I was like, oh no, I don't want that kind of life.
Right.
If I'm having fun on vacation, don't even call me. Um, so then I started exploring, and I love music. Music is like my life. And
Mhm.
I started exploring with like audio editing and stuff like that. And then I got really intrigued, and then ended up with a an internship at Q102
Mhm.
to complete my degree. I had to take an internship, so I got an internship at Q102 over the summer, my last year. Then I got hired like 6 weeks after in the production. With the production manager hired me on to help with the board opping.
Mhm.
Then I just fell in love with radio. I just loved radio. But then there was like a huge job cut, and I had a non-compete. um
Oh,
yeah, I signed a
oh, those are
non-compete
terrible.
contract when I originally got hired on. And the thing is that when there's two different kinds of radio. There's Radio One and there's Clear Channel. I was working for
Mhm.
Clear Channel. So the only thing I could do was try to get another job with Clear Channel, but Clear Channel was getting rid of everyone. So they got rid of like all of their promotions team, which I was a part of. And then I got slimmed down to just like 4 hours a week for board hopping. And I'm just like, I'm not going to keep coming all the way up to Bala Cynwyd and staying in traffic for 2 hours for this.
Right.
I just, it was just crazy. So, so I couldn't really find a job anywhere else at that point. So I got out of radio and started some like entrepreneurship. And opened up some businesses and things like that. Worked for Apple for a few years.
Mm.
And now here I am.
Yes. Now, that's one thing that I know about you. Like, I can't think of a time where you worked like a 9 to 5. I always was like, man, Lisa's just doing her thing. She's just, if it's not in radio, if it's not in broadcasting, it's in something else. She's like doing her side business. I can't even think of a time besides like the Apple one that that's the only career I know like you've done that was the 9 to 5. Everything else was like entrepreneur big.
And even when I was in doing Apple, I was still doing a side hustle. So
Mhm.
it's just in my blood, Errol. I don't know what to
Yes.
say.
So do you like the side hustle life?
I've always had a heart for entrepreneurship. Like I've always had like this just burning desire to like be my own boss. I
Mhm.
love having the control over my own life. I did it for almost 3 years where I was just home and just did my thing. Um, I just like having that control. It was great being like, oh, let's go on vacation next week. And then I don't have to ask for time off or like think about, oh, well, am I going to have paid time off for this? You know what I mean? Is my boss going to approve my time off?
Mhm.
Um, so I really like that aspect of it. Um, and I think that's why I constantly am doing something because I just like having that control. I've loosened up a lot, okay, but I have control issues, and I think that's my outlet.
Right. Now, if anyone who's watching, if you want to add anything in the comments, like, are you a cell phone business? Do you love that grind of like, I'm in control, I have my own? Like, do you love that, or are you thinking about doing that? Like, add any comments you have in the chat. We would love to see them. But no, I agree. Like having to answer to yourself is probably the best thing, but it's also the scary thing because it's like, ooh, especially nowadays with everything and the way the world is, it's like hopefully income can come through and the job market, everything is like up in the air and stuff like that. So
Yeah, everything is always so inconsistent anymore. I mean, there's no such thing as like a steady job. You know what I mean? Because at any point, that company can just be like, bye. And then now what? Now all that you spent all that time depending on someone else for your future. And
Mm.
now you're by yourself and now you know what to do.
Yep.
So yeah, my mom thought I was completely insane when I told her I was going to quit my job.
I know, because parents are like, you sure you want to do that? Like, parents want the best
Yeah,
for
yeah.
their children at the end. But like, if like you like, I'm gonna do this. I have a heart for it. I have a passion for it. Go and do it. Even though it's scary, because it's like, well, I'm gonna put my foot out there, and hopefully I can run that mile. But once you have something going and a following, it's like you don't want to give that up. Once you even just have a taste of like, this is something I can do, even if you're making small increments of money here and there, it's like something you can do. No one could take that away from you.
Right, right. And especially like it's your talent. Like your talent is phenomenal. And you know it, okay? And I know that that's also like your side thing with your
Mhm.
photography and stuff like that. And that's something you have control over. Nobody could take that away from you. And you will always have that, job or no job. You're going to always have that. So
Mhm.
I feel like everyone should figure out what it is that they're passionate about and hone in on that and take control of that and do something with it, even if it's just a hobby, because you just never know when you can use that to help bring some income in for your family. You know what I mean? It's just anything is possible anymore.
That's true. That's true. And I feel like now at this time, people have time, you know. Not many people are. A lot of people are either working from home or, I mean, the unfortunate of layoffs, but at least they have now that time to dedicate whatever their passion is now, whatever their craft is, whatever they said, you know what, I want to do something, but work was holding me down. Now it's probably the best time to kind of
Absolutely.
branch out, promote yourself, and kind of go from there.
Yeah. I've been saying that for a while now too. Too many people spend too much time watching Netflix and social media and just doing a lot of things that just don't benefit them.
Mhm.
We have 24 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. It just all depends on how you're applying those 24 hours. What are you doing during those 24 hours?
Mhm. That is true.
So at the end of the day, if you're not if you're not where you want to be, it's your own fault. There's a
Mhm.
fly here, and I don't know if you can see it. It keeps catching on camera every once in a while. Really driving me crazy.
And once we start the broadcast too, it's that fly on the wall wants to
It's
hear everything.
I feel like, um what's his face during the debate? Like, come on now, go away.
Mhm.
Fly. I just needed to land on my head for
Just
10
land on
minutes.
your head. You don't want to have that Pence moment. You don't.
Right. I don't need a Pence
You don't
moment
want to
right
be
now.
that meme. You don't want to be that meme.
Right. I blanked on his name for a second. I'm like, what's his face?
Mm,
Um so disrespectful. Anyway,
yes. Yes.
um yes, I got so sidetracked. I don't even know what we were talking about now.
So we was talking about side business, side like the side hustle. You want to do it and stuff like that. So yeah, I believe don't be afraid if you have the skill, the talent, whatever, just go and do it. At the end of the day, and just see where it takes you. You never know.
Yeah,
Your one idea, your one contact, your one blog post, your one video, your one social media post can now someone sees it, they tell a friend, and now your business is booming. So
exactly. And the other thing too is when you had asked me, it was like about self discovery.
mm,
I think two is first finding out what you like, what you love, and two is understanding what makes or break you.
Mm.
So over the years, I've learned a lot about myself. There's a lot of self development that I've
Mm.
had to do in order to realize like what I'm doing right and wrong. Because the thing is that you can start any business,
Right.
whatever you want, but if you're not right up here, it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to work.
Right.
Okay, you have to do a lot of self evaluation, a lot of self learning about who you are, what drives you,
Mm-hmm.
um, and what motivates you
Mm-hmm.
and what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, are you the type of person that gets brought down when one of somebody that you love says something negative to you about what you're doing? You know, like do you suddenly just like get sidetracked and now you don't concentrate as hard on your goal? And that's really powerful because if you find that there are certain things that trigger you in a negative way and you don't catch it,
Mm-hmm.
it'll keep happening.
Right.
And then it just becomes this cycle that you just can't seem to get out of until you realize like, wait, this is why I keep self-sabotaging.
Mm-hmm.
I need to realize that next time it happens so I don't keep doing that to myself. You know what I mean? So it's just that's also important too. And I think that's what I was talking about when I had said, um, self-development and like
Mm-hmm.
self-discovery. I'm just trying to fix this. Like I'm in the corner. Okay.
So with
Um,
self development, have you struggled with that? Like accepting like what you're doing, accepting even yourself. Like have you ever struggled with that or had moments of like, I don't know, when someone maybe says something negative, do you let that fester? Because I know with me, sometimes when someone says something negative to me, I take that to heart and it like festers in my mind and I think about it, think about it, think about it. So have that ever happened to you? And if so, how did you kind of break out of it?
so when if you ever decide to become an entrepreneur, you have to learn to have thick skin.
Mm,
Because people are going to always have opinions about you, no matter what it is that you're doing. Okay. You can have a 9 to 5 full time steady job and they'll say something. You can be an entrepreneur and be struggling, they'll say something. You can be a successful entrepreneur, they'll say something, So, um, I did in the very beginning struggle with that because I play the comparison game a lot. Um,
mhm,
I like to follow other people who are successful where they're where I want to be,
mhm,
because that's important too. Because if you want to reach a certain level, then you should probably follow whatever it is that that person is doing because obviously they did something right.
mhm,
So you have to try to mimic those actions to get to where you want to be, right? Um, but sometimes I know for myself, I don't know, I know a lot of other people feel this way while you're following these people, you start to compare yourself to them.
mhm,
Like, well, I'm not there and I'm doing this and it's not working. And um, I, I'm doing everything they're doing, but it's not working for me. And it's just like that's when that self-acceptance come in because you need to understand who you are and realize you are not them and
mhm,
accept yourself for who you are. Stop hating yourself because every time you compare yourself to somebody, you're telling yourself that you're less than.
mm,
And it took a long time for me to realize that.
mm,
I just spent so many years wasted comparing myself to other people.
mm.
Um, and that was a struggle for me.
Right. Like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like this week, I've been down that whole social media rabbit hole with this and just looking at like different artists and stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I was there. Man, I wish I was there. And it's a bad cycle.
It is.
It's a bad cycle. And I just finished watching that social media I don't know what it's the social something on Netflix that
Oh, the
happened.
social experiment.
Yeah. And I literally watched that, and then I went looking at different things and put me down that rabbit hole
Oh my god.
of sadness. And I'm like, I need to stop.
Yeah.
Like, and that's true. Like, I think nowadays it's hard for entrepreneurs because there's so much out there, and then people can be comparing like themselves to others, and that can be very hard. Like, what did you do to kind of break that cycle? Like, did you talk to someone? One day was he just fed up? Is like, no, I'm gonna just keep doing me, and I'm just gonna go, and that's it.
I think what happened was I had to realize what I was doing. It's part of
Mm-hmm.
that whole self-development thing. It's part of that whole self-awareness thing.
Mm-hmm.
I started to notice what I was doing to myself. Every time I had a negative thought, I had to like shift gears.
Right.
I don't know if you followed Lisa Nichols.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounds familiar.
but anyway, I got to see her live a couple years ago, and it was the most amazing experience I've actually. It was last year. Yeah, it was last year. And I did a fly. I follow her a lot. She
Mm-hmm.
was a huge. I'm like losing my words right now. She really helped me get through a lot of some of the emotional blockage that I
Mm-hmm.
had from listening to her. Um, Audiobooks. I listen. I have Audible, and I'm like audiobooks. That's all I do all the time is just listen to audiobooks. And
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, it's self improvement.
Right.
Because if you're not working on yourself every day,
Mm-hmm.
um, you're not growing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that has to do with maturity too. When you're younger, there's just a lot of things you don't know that you learn along the way,
Right.
and some people get stuck and they just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at some point it just clicks, and you're just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Right.
Like, I need to make a change. Like, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's just crazy. So I think that's what it was for me too. Is just clicked one day. I was just like, I really need to stop self-sabotaging myself like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just all I'm doing is just digging that hole deeper and deeper.
Right.
um so I think that's what happened. That's how
Mm-hmm.
I got. I wouldn't say I'm completely out of that because I still do it every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had to like switch gears.
No.
And also the thing is, it's okay to stop unfollowing people like on social media, because social media is such a huge, like, it's just so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find yourself like looking at someone else's like posts or stuff like that, don't, first of all, don't kid yourself, because 99% of the time it's not even real. Okay, they're only posting the good parts. Okay.
That's true.
Like, and I could tell you that from experience. There was a couple of vacations that I was not having a good time, but the pictures looked like I was having a freaking blast. Nobody would have known.
True. True.
Okay, so
So
you
true.
know you got to remind yourself of that when you're playing that comparison game. It's like, it's not always what it seems.
Right.
The other person could be like really like struggling just
Mm.
like you are. It just doesn't look like that.
True.
But if you find yourself like comparing and stuff like that and feeling less than the person, then you should probably just stop following them for a while until you like get right with yourself.
Right. Just take that mental break and
Yeah.
kind of reflect, recharge, and kind of restart. Um, and like reboot yourself, and just be like, I'm gonna reboot myself, and I'm gonna try to look at it with a new set of eyes and things like that. Um, so Do you feel like you are kind to yourself?
I am now more
Mm-hmm.
than I was before.
Hmm.
Um, you do, I've been told a lot of times that, like growing up, like my mom, she's always like, you gotta be, you can't be conceited. You're still conceited. And there's a difference between being confident and being conceited.
Hmm.
Okay. Conceited is someone who makes everything all about them and revolves everything about them. Being confident is just being aware of who you are and
Right.
understanding that you have, you saw that? You saw the flash? You
Yep. Just.
have, you have, you have things to offer that other people don't. Okay.
Mm,
You have talents that other people don't. You have skills that other people don't. And also, your flaws are positive things because it gives you the
mm,
opportunity to work to be something better. You have to level up. The person that you want to be in 5 years is not going to be, it's not going to, the person that you are now, like I'm like saying this all backwards, the person that you are now
mm.
needs to evolve
Right.
if you want to be at a different level in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years.
Mm,
And in order for that to happen, there's got to be a lot of self-development and self-awareness and change that happens within you. So if there's certain toxic traits that you have, you
mm,
need to recognize what those are and fix them so that you can level up. It's kind of like going from kindergarten to high school. Like you're just not going to go from kindergarten straight to ninth grade. It just doesn't work like that.
true.
You gotta pass the test in life.
Yep.
I don't know if I got off topic there, but
No, that's true. You do. You like each like I think that Sierra song, "Level Up." Uh,
mhm.
like you gotta level up. You gotta take the good, take the bad, and just keep going and try to achieve and try to break through. Because life, I guess, is all about just breaking through, just just having constant daily breakthroughs. The fact that you got up in the morning is something to be like grateful of and see how you can like create something better about your day. Who did you affect? Whose life maybe you changed or just things like that. Um, so how do you confront like your fears? How do you confront your fears on just different things? How do you confront them?
I run away and hide. No,
You run away.
don't do it like it. Sometimes I do. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I try to avoid them, but there comes a point where you have to just hit it head on.
Mm,
I suffer with anxiety. It's not as bad as some other people,
mm,
but I have a fear with public speaking. So when you told me this was gonna be a video,
mm.
I was like freaking out inside. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I started like getting sweaty and
Oh,
because believe it or not, somebody who's grew up in theater and performed in front of hundreds of people in her life, I struggle with that. I struggle with public speaking because I always feel like I'm not articulate enough to
mm,
speak. I'm a great writer, okay, but getting the words from my head to my mouth, I've always struggled with that.
mm,
Um, so I think when I'm feeling fearful, I just have to like talk myself down,
right.
off the ledge. Like it's gonna be okay, you
Mm,
know. If you
okay.
stumble over your words, you stumble over your words. You just try your best. um I just have to like keep telling myself how amazing I am
Mm,
when I'm starting to feel fearful about something like that.
mm.
I think that's all I can say about that.
No, I agree, especially like with like let's say the whole stage fright. if you're on stage, that means you're supposed to be there. You are supposed to be there. No matter if you fumble your words or whatever, you're supposed to be there. And it's like, I'm here. So there's no need to fear because at least I made it to this area or this stage. I know it's easier said than done, but like just thinking that, like, hey, I'm here, whether I fumble on my words or not, at least I'm here on this stage and I'm present and I do have a voice and I do have something to share
Mhm.
um, as well.
Yeah, that's important too, is understanding like if you're being given an opportunity, there's a reason why
Mm,
you're being given that opportunity. And I feel like we close the doors on ourselves sometimes
mm,
because we let that fear overtake us. The like opportunity will come knocking and then we start to second guess our, our what we can do.
right,
And then we're like, well, I'm not good enough for that. I'm not good enough for that. So I shouldn't even try because I'm not good enough for it. But why? How do you know if you haven't even tried? You
true,
know, the worst thing that could happen is that it just doesn't work out and then you're just back at square one.
right. That's
And
true.
where you are now, is that really so bad?
That's true. Yeah,
So,
I mean, as long as you try, like I think that at the end of the day, just try to put your foot forward and try because you never know. You never know what can come out. That fly is a huge
you
fly.
see it, right? I told you. I,
That's that's not a fly. That's like a full grown shadow.
oh my gosh. It's like
Uh,
really annoying.
that's crazy. Maybe the fly has something to say
I
too.
know. Do you have something to say? Is it Ant-Man
It could be Ant-Man, you know.
flying on the fly?
hmm He's trying to let everyone know that it's 2020 Marvel gonna be releasing
Gosh.
Ant-Man.
I have one of those electric fly swatters, but it's out in the kitchen.
Maybe that's why the
Because
fly's in here.
that's why the fly's in here, because it
Yep,
knows.
it knows.
It's okay, because after we're done, I'm gonna kill it. It's gonna be gone. We see it when I go again. It just wants to
Yeah.
be.
Mm. Oh, that is funny. So how do you stay positive? Like how do you stay positive day to day?
So, right, Rochelle? She's like, that's a huge fly.
It is a huge fly.
It keeps coming up to the camera. Um, I would say daily affirmations are really
Mm.
important. I started doing them probably about a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
Every morning I get up. Now, mind you, there are some mornings that I don't do it because I wake up all late and I'm like, rushing out the door like crazy person. But every morning I try to do my daily affirmations. I know there's a lot of people in here that are probably watching that are not religious. It's fine. You don't have to be religious, but I really do believe that there has to be something that you believe in.
Mm.
Doesn't have to be God. It could be whatever, because we all really believe in the same thing. We just call it something different.
Mhm.
Um, but you have to have faith in something. Um, and every morning I wake up, I do my Bible, and then I have the Bible app, and there's always like these like excerpts
Yep.
that they give you like a daily thing. So I do that every morning. And then on my way to work, I usually listen to some sort of positive motivational speaking. I
Mhm.
don't listen to the radio because there's nothing but crap on there, to be honest. Everything, it's just music with I sound like an old person. It's like, what are these little kids listening to these days? Back in my day.
Back in my day, we had boys to men. Who's this? Cardi B?
right. Get off my lawn. But no, seriously, like a lot of the music, there's just like no substance to it anymore. It's just literally like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I listen to the radio once in a while because I gotta be down with the cool kids. I gotta be
Mhm.
the cool mom. I gotta know what's going on.
Yep.
Um, but it's just like there's no substance to it. There's nothing positive about it, and like why I don't believe in wasting my time or energy in anything that's not going to help make me better.
Hmm.
Um, I'm all about having a good time and partying and dancing and stuff like that. There's a time and a place for that. For me, mornings is not it. On my way to work, I like to get in my headspace,
Right.
because how you start your day sets up the rest of the day. Okay. Um, I'm real big on making my bed in the morning. That's like the first accomplishment of the day that you could have, is making your bed in the morning. Most mornings Jose does it because he works late.
Right.
So he's usually asleep still by the time I leave for work. And I'm not going to make the bed with him in it. But I've got him doing it now, so he'll get up and he'll make the bed.
Now, does he like making the bed?
He does, because he's seen like I guess the result from it, like after you have the bed made, like
Mhm.
it just clears your mind. I don't know. I'm like, it's like you don't have all the bed sheets and stuff everywhere, so there's like no clutter.
Right. Now, I agree. Like, I wasn't the best of like, I mean, like it's already like it's already messed up. It's fine. But now I do see why it's important to have like, a bed made. And like you said, with like listening to something positive, like every month I always go back to this one YouTube video where this Marine talks about making the bed and why that is important to start your day, but then you end your night by you're seeing like this is progress. You made this, and now it's like a clean thing that you can rest on and you can go to sleep on and rest your head. So I really agree in that.
Yeah, yeah. It's I've always done it though. Made my bed.
Hmm.
I don't know. I wasn't taught that. Um, but I've noticed a difference in my headspace when I don't make my bed in the morning. It's
Hmm.
really strange. It's like really subconscious.
Right.
But if you're not self-aware, you won't notice that.
Sure.
Um, how those little things like really do affect you.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd say that's how I stay positive. I just stay with self affirmations, staying in my faith,
Hmm.
um, making my bed every morning when I can, when Jose's not in it. um, and also making a to-do list and being planning. I've always been a planner and I've always been pretty organized for the most part. Just don't pay attention back there. Um, Maybelle uses this office for her schoolwork because it's like the only room in the house that has like you don't get disturbed in.
Right.
And she just, I don't know what's going on back there, what she did. Um, there's just papers and textbooks everywhere. Her Chromebook is somewhere in that pile. I don't know what's
That's
going
school
on.
life now.
She makes her bed in the morning. It's part of her to-do list.
There you go. Now, does she see like the purpose in that?
Of making your bed.
Mhm.
She does enjoy it because she says that she likes to see her room. She says her room looks clean when she makes her bed. Um,
Mm.
and then when we go to bed, when I put her to bed at night, she's not like scrummaging around trying to put stuff away, take stuff off her bed and trying to get in it. It's just like a smooth transition. Like, okay, it's bedtime. Just get in the bed,
Mhm.
you know. So she enjoys doing it, and I'm just hoping that it sticks for the rest of her life because that's going to be like. I know it sounds so like trivial and stupid, but it's so important.
It is.
It really is.
It
Like
is so important.
I would say, like if there's anything that you do to try to incorporate some sort of structure or positivity in your life, Start
Mhm.
by making your bed every morning.
There you go.
If
That's
there's
the key.
nothing that you do to change, just make your bed every morning.
Make your bed.
And then you'll start to notice like all these other things you'll start to do because
Mhm.
you just made your bed.
Yep. You're like, wow, I made my bed. Now let me see. Maybe I should put this away, and maybe I should organize this.
It'll
And
inspire you.
yep. And then you realize your room is clean, and you're like, I gotta keep it this way. I agree. I'm slowly seeing the purpose in that, which is good. Tidiness, everything has a purpose, everything has a place. My wife says that all the time. Everything has a place,
I agree with her.
everything
She's a
has a
very smart
purpose.
woman.
And it's just a book you could put somewhere, but no,
No.
everything has a place. Um, so I am slowly seeing the benefit of that and trying to incorporate that uh, in my world as well. Um, but how do you think people should accept imperfections? I think that's like a hard thing for a lot of people. And if anyone who is watching this, how do you accept your own imperfections? But how do you accept imperfections?
So I think the thing is going back to headspace.
Mm,
If you look at imperfections as a negative thing,
mm,
then you're going to put yourself down. Like, oh, well, I can't speak, the way she speaks. So that makes me not so great.
mm,
But if you look at it, flip it. Okay, I can't speak the way she speaks, but I'm witty and I'm funny. So you got to learn to take the good with the bad. Not everyone's going to be perfect, okay? Not everybody's perfect. I don't care what anybody says, you're not freaking perfect. You can try your best to be perfect, but everyone's going to have some sort of imperfection, and I think the trick is to use that imperfection to your advantage.
okay.
Um I see I'm having a hard time with words. This is one of my imperfections.
You've been speaking
um,
knowledge for about 42 minutes, so you're
what's
good.
that?
You've been speaking knowledge for 42 minutes, so you're good.
In my head, it doesn't sound that way. In my head, it just sounds like, and then I have this little voice like, "Oh my God, shut up!" So it's like that switch, like constantly, like, "Okay, Lisa, you're actually really good. Like, stop.
Mm,
Stop putting yourself down." I think it's the headspace. It's just looking at your imperfections and then using them to your advantage instead of thinking that it's such a negative thing, because everyone has imperfection. It's
right.
just accepting those imperfections and then using them for a purpose,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
I really like that. That should be a quote right there. That definitely be a quote right there. But I want to move on to this one with the mom guilt and balance, because when I was reading that, I was just like, whoa, like mom guilt. And then
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what is mom guilt? And I had to like research that. And as I was researching it, I was thinking like when I was a kid, I remember there was like a class trip, but like me and my mom, we like couldn't afford it. And I like looked at my mom and I was like, Mom, are we not like w- how come we don't have any money for this trip? And I was like, it's okay, Mom. Like, it's okay. And I walked out, but then like my mom told me like that like was heartbreaking because it's like she wants to provide, and that got me thinking, was that like mom guilt? Like wanting to support, wanting to like give everything, is that what it is? But like when you mentioned that, like what, trying to think, what is that like? Was that like when you find out you was pregnant, was that like, did you start feeling like mom guilt? Was it like something that started creeping up saying like, oh my gosh, like what was that?
So, mom guilt can come in so many different ways. Okay. So when you're a caring, loving mother, you want the best for your children. You want everything for them. You want to be there for them. You want to be everything for them.
Mhm.
And I know I had a lot of doubts when I was pregnant with Maybell. I'm like, oh my God, and I'm going to be a mom. Like I did not see myself as a mother at the time. Trust me, I was having fun.
Mhm.
I was like, wait, what do you mean? So now I'm responsible for this person, this human being. Like, am I even enough to be a mom? Like, aren't you like? Is there a class that you're supposed to take and pass to be a mom? Is there a book I can read? Like, you know, so that was that. You know that is one part of mom guilt, is wondering if you're enough for your child, if you're doing enough for your child, if you're providing enough for your child, are there enough for your child? And then the other part of mom guilt for me, big time, especially when I was running my business for 3 years,
Mhm.
was spending time with her. I've always felt like I just wasn't giving her enough of me.
Mm.
Um, you know, while I'm sitting there working on my business for a couple hours, I'm home, she's home,
Mhm.
but I felt selfish taking that time away to work on myself and work on my business, because I felt like that was taking time from her.
Mhm.
And that was my mom guilt.
Right.
And it's super real. Okay.
Mhm.
It exists. It happens a lot. And a lot of times it sabotages people's goals,
Mhm.
because they let that guilt overtake them, and then it stops them from moving forward, because they're like, well, if I do this for 2 hours, then I'm not going to be with my daughter for 2 hours, and that takes time
Mhm.
away from her, so I'm not going to do this.
Right.
And now you didn't put in those 2 hours that you're supposed to put in, and now you're still stuck where you started,
Mhm.
and then now you're sitting here with your child and wondering, well, I'm not giving them enough. Well, you're not giving them enough because you're not putting in that work, because you're
Right.
letting mom guilt overpower.
Right.
So that's where I was coming from with mom guilt. There's all different, you're going to find a lot of different things when it comes to mom guilt.
Right.
But that was mine, was, feeling like I wasn't giving enough to my
Mhm.
child, like enough of me to her.
Right.
But then that goes into what I was saying with the balance, and how there's no such thing as balance. I had
Mhm.
to learn that I have to give myself 100% to my daughter during these times, and give
Mhm.
myself 100% to my business during these times. There's
Right.
no way that I can put the two together. You just can't you can't do 50% business while doing 50% family. It just, there's no such thing as that balance. You're either 100% or you're not.
Mhm.
Um, and I learned that in the beginning of my business, because I was trying to do that. I was trying to do both. I was like, a lot of it had to do with social media. So I'm like sitting here on my phone while we're playing dolls.
Mhm.
And how effective is that? Like, first of all, I'm not focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing for my business on social media, because I'm over here playing dolls with my daughter, and then my daughter feels neglected because
Right.
I'm in my phone the whole freaking time. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because I'm not giving my 100% of attention to her. So there's no such thing as balance. You just got to figure out, you have to block your days off and your hours and your time and figure out what's important
Mm-hmm.
and say, okay, I'm doing this because what is your why? My daughter's my why. I want the best for her. And the only way I can give that to her is if I take this block of time during the day and give my 100% towards our future during that time so that
Mm.
I can afford to give her more time later, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Yo, that did make sense. Um, yeah, that really did make sense because you do want to give 100% to your children. Like, I don't know what that is now, but I know
You'll find out.
there's probably gonna be dad guilt too. Um, and it's like, what can you do to provide for your kids and give them the best while still trying to build a business, but still being able to provide. But I agree, you should give 100% to your child, not 50-50. Like when you do 50-50s, you're saying half of you is cool here, but the other half I have to support here, and it just can't be done. Um, yeah, because when I was researching the whole mom guilt, like even the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, she even suffered from mom guilt, and I'm like, how is she, who is like royalty, who has anything she can ask for, but she can't. She just can't either. Like you have all the money, you can have all the this, the that, but that that's still gonna overcome you, and that's still gonna worry you. Am I being the best? Am I being attentive? Am I doing everything? Am I sharing with them life skills? Do they really see me as like their mom, or as like for dads as their dad, and they can come to me? Like all these things probably go through a parent's head um, every time.
I'm going to tell you, any parent who loves and cares about their child is going to have some sort of guilty feeling anytime they're doing something that is taking time away from their kid.
Hmm.
Um, Whether it be work, school, working on themselves.
Hmm.
It's a big thing for moms, especially, to take those time out for yourself every day. I'm really big on that. Like, I don't disturb me for my hour. Leave
Hmm.
me alone. I had to learn to be selfish with my hour. That was me time. That's my hour. Like,
Right.
because if you're not filling your cup, you have nothing to give, So you have to kind of lose that guilt, that guilty feeling
Hmm.
when you're doing something for you,
Hmm.
or you're doing something for you so that you can do something more for your family.
Hmm.
Um, it's not being selfish. It's feeling, it's being real.
Right.
You got to do it so that you can be there for them, and then they'll get it later. At first, they'll be like, "Oh, mom, you made quick goals with me," but they'll get it later.
That's
It's all right.
real.
It's not the end of the world.
Like, yeah, that's true. They will. I mean, right now they're like they don't see it, but once they get older and things like that, then they'll start to see. They might not admit it, but they'll start to see. So I agree on that.
I
Uh,
know. I know. As watching our moms, as when we were younger, growing up, watching how hard they work. Because my mom was practically like a single mom too for a while,
mhm.
um, and watching her just persevere every day doing what she needed to do to provide for us, gave me that fuel. Like, now I understand where she was at before. Like, and I get it. I'm like, I get it, Mom. Like, now I know why you had to lock yourself up in the room every
Right.
once in a while, because if you didn't, you would have nothing left to give us, and you would just be angry.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants an angry mom.
Mm-mm. No, 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 that's true. All the moms out there, y'all do amazing things. I can just say that. Yeah, moms out there are amazing. It's so true. So, how did that impact Jose as well? Like, or did he go through like any bouts of like dad guilt, or did it like when he saw you like dealing with mom guilt? Did that, was there like an impact on?
So I know that he went through his own thing. To
Mm,
be completely honest, he's not a very vocal person when it comes to his feelings.
mm,
I think that has a lot to do with society and what society teaches men, that they're not allowed to show feelings and they have to constantly be strong for their family and not show when they need help. But I know he has been through some things emotionally. I mean, as you're growing, you're going to go through very uncomfortable feelings and situations. And that's
right,
just what helps you grow to be a better person. Um, and I know he struggled a lot in the beginning, when we first became parents, because it's new, it's all new. Like, you don't know what you're doing.
mm,
Am I doing this even right? I mean, he would ask me the most ridiculous questions. I'd be like, babe, just give her a banana. Is she allowed to have a banana? What do you mean? Is she a human? Like, what? Like, it's just, he was, I think he had this like fear of not doing the right thing,
mm,
and I think that was his like dad guilt,
right,
fear of just like not doing the right thing. um Nate's like, yeah, so true.
yep,
I know it's hard for men too, because it's like, you guys go through a lot in your head,
mm-hmm,
and don't discuss and speak about it. He's gotten a lot better with it now. I'm just like, I'll notice and I'm like, all right, pause, we're gonna talk about this.
mm,
We're not leaving this room until you tell me what is happening,
right,
because your headspace is just as important as my headspace. Okay. I could be in the best headspace, but if you're not in the right headspace, then what's
mm,
going to happen is, I don't know if you've heard of ants. You know how ants, like, they start, um, they start with one, and then there's two, and then there's
mm,
three, and then before you know it, it's a whole bunch of them.
mm-hmm,
That's kind of how it is with energy and emotions. So if he is not in the right headspace and I'm in the good headspace, then what's going to happen is his negative energy is going to overflow onto me. And then if I don't know how to deal with that, then I'm going to now transfer it onto Maybell. And then if she of course she doesn't know how to deal with that because she's a kid, and
mm,
now she's not in the right headspace. So I think it's important for women, if you're in a relationship, to always be talking to your man, and always having that open line of communication and understanding, and don't be in that corner where everybody else is thinking that, well, he can handle it, he's a man, he can handle it. Because no, the same way you can't handle it all the time, he can't handle it all the time. Okay. He's a person too, just
yeah,
like you are. Okay. Because I know as women, as moms, we're supposed to be strong too, right? We're always looked at like we're the warriors of the family. We protect our children and we mama bear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we have our moments too. And it's just like it's looked at okay when a woman is have struggling, but it's not looked at okay when a man is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And I
True.
feel like that is just such a bad narrative.
Yeah, because with
Went
men it's
off topic again,
silent.
but
No, it's true. Like with men, it's like a silent thing. It's like a silent killer for them because there's no outlet. With a woman, you see it in movies, TVs, and books. A woman will have her girlfriends she can go to. They can talk about it. They have that community, that connection. But with guys, it's like if it ain't sports,
right. I don't want to hear
that's
about
it.
it.
That's it. If it ain't sports or cars or something like that, that's it. Like what's this emotion, this
Oh,
guilt? Toughen up.
feelings. Ew.
Feelings.
What are feelings?
They're like toughen up.
Right.
And that's not good because you're suppressing everything inside. And you don't want to do that no matter what it's just like heat. Whatever you try to suppress, it's gonna just eventually just get out.
Right.
And it might
Explode.
not be the best thing. So
Explode.
uh, I really like what you said is like how you might notice something, you pause, you say, I'm putting a pause to everything because you're concerned. Like I'm concerned for you. I want to make sure your headspace is good so we can all be good. And it's
Hmm.
not like, okay, 2/3 of us is good. No, it needs to be everyone needs to be good and everyone needs to share. And how can we come together and be one together? And I agree.
Hmm.
I agree with that. Um, wow, wow. Seriously, everything you said was so insightful and
Oh, thank you.
no, it's true. It's true. Like those everything you said, I literally can say I'm going to take bits and pieces and really like apply it to my life um as best as I can because like everyone goes through stuff. Everyone goes through their ups, their downs. And it's like, you got to take that time. You got to reflect. Like you said, listen to positive things, devotions, um, all those things um, to really help your mind and shift your mindset. And that is so true. Especially nowadays, it's probably the way people are cooped up inside. We have a unknown. You can't see COVID. You don't know it. It doesn't have a face. It doesn't have. It just has a name, and that's it. And it spreads. And you got to figure out how can I be mentally good with this kind of weird new normal. How do I take care of my family? How can we be safe? How can my job and dealing with maybe remote work, how does that look? You know, and like Nate said, listen to your wife is the best advice. Listen to that is true. Any guys who are listening, watching this right now, listen to your lady, listen to your girlfriend, listen to your wife, listen to your mom, your grandma. They're wise.
Yeah.
They're wise.
Um, we were having this I was having this conversation with Jose's sister. I agree with that, Nate. Happy wife, happy life. But I also believe it's happy spouse, happy house. Because like I said, you both need to be happy. It can't just be one. Because if you keep saying no to yourself because you're saying yes to her all the time, that's not a really good, healthy situation.
Say that again, Lisa. Say that again. Happy
Happy
what?
spouse, happy house.
There you go. Happy spouse, happy house. I like that because
Mhm.
I really like that because if both are happy, that means your household will be happy. Things inside your household will be happy, will grow, will benefit, you know? And whether it be your kids or you invite friends or you have a dog, a cat, you name it, you just bring that good energy, that good comfort and safety and a safe place and a safe environment. So knowledge, see, there you go, knowledge right there.
um,
Who needs Oprah? Who needs all
you better
Lisa?
stop. You better stop. No, but going back to what I was trying to say, and then I got sidetracked by Nate. I was talking to Jose's sister, and we were talking about, the Bible and all this stuff, how it talks about the woman is basically the voice of the man, right? She's like, the man is the head, but the woman is the neck.
Mm,
So we help turn your head in the direction that it needs to go.
mm-hmm.
So it is really important to listen, because if you don't listen and you turn it the wrong way, you're
That's
going the wrong way.
that is true. And I also look at it too as like the neck holds up the head
Mm-hmm.
too as well. Make sure like you're good. You can turn this way and you have that trust and things like it. Because it takes two, no matter what, it takes two. It's not that one person. It takes two to make everything work.
Yeah.
Because no one could do it by themselves. No one could do it by them. Even though they're like, I got this, I could do it by myself. It's the stress, it's the figuring out everything. But if you have like someone else with you, you're good. That's half of whatever you was trying to worry about is now taken off your shoulders, and they can help out with that. So,
Yeah. I don't think anybody could do anything by themselves. Even if you're not in a relationship, just in general, even in professional, situations, you're
mm,
not doing anything by yourself. There's always going to be somebody who is helping you in some way.
mm-hmm,
Um, I didn't get my internship for Q102 by myself. That wasn't all me. You know what I mean? That was also the help of my professors
mm-hmm,
and my studies and everything that I learned that got me there. You know what I
right,
mean? So I can't say I did that me by myself. Like, I think a lot of people get that confused too.
mm-hmm,
Um, yeah, you can't do anything by yourself. You're going to need help at some point from somebody
true.
to do things to get to where you want to be. And that's important, where it's important to know how to build relationships with
Mm-hmm,
people, because you're going to need those relationships to help you
right.
later to reach your goals. Oh my gosh, it's staying still. Hold on. Damn it.
Those flies are tricky.
It's not. It's not. It's not gonna stay.
But I agree. I agree. So we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game now. It's a fun game.
Okay.
It's I don't know what it's called. I saw it from Larry King and I was like, this seemed interesting.
You and Larry King.
I know. I know. Larry King. All right, here we go. So celebrity crush. Who
Okay.
was your celebrity crush?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, uh, once upon a time, I'm trying not. I forget his name now. I met him too. I'm forgetting his name now.
I'm trying to remember if you told me. I don't think you
He's a singer.
Enrique?
No, no. Oh
It
my
was
gosh,
Enrique.
I can't, because I don't really have a celebrity crush now.
Mar
I mean, there are celebrities that I appreciate, like Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
I mean, he's not a crush, but I I would totally hang out with Johnny Depp. He's an amazing person. A great actor. He's very versatile.
What song did they sing? Or what genre of music?
Like pop. Why am I forgetting who this
Justin?
person is?
Justin Timberlake?
Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke. Okay.
Robin Thicke. Yeah.
So what'd you like about Robin Thicke?
What's that?
What'd you like about Robin Thicke?
His swagger.
Yeah. What?
I guess he has swagger. I don't know. I just like the talent. I thought he was very what's the word I'm looking for?
Versatile?
No, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think right now. Oh my gosh. Here I go again, forgetting words. I just liked his style. I just thought he had a great presence.
Mm-hmm.
And I did meet him once when I worked at the studio. He was really nice. His wife was with him.
Paula Patton, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say I used to be Robin Thicke, but now I don't really have like a celebrity crush like that. How about you?
How about me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Michelle Thomas. So she played Myra on Family Matters.
Okay.
But then, God rest her soul. But I would Kerry Washington.
What about Kerry Washington?
I don't know, like her. I guess her. What is it like? Her confidence, like the way she, like, something about her confidence. That's what I like that. Especially on that. What was the ABC show? The president.
Apprentice?
No, that
Oh,
famous show she was on. It was on ABC. She was in the White House. I can't remember,
hold
but
on. I'm
that
about
that show.
to Google it. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, I know who you're talking about. I love that show. Oh my gosh. What
The
is the name of that show?
who's ever watching can help us out too.
Yeah, please comment if you know what show we're talking about. Oh
It's
my, she was a lawyer.
she was a lawyer. Was it the lawyer?
The white hat.
Yeah.
Um,
Scandal.
Scandal. Yes.
That's it.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was yeah. But what is the best piece of advice you've gotten?
The best piece of advice. Oh, there's a lot. I would say be selfish with your time. Um, Not everyone deserves a space in your head
Mm-hmm.
and in your life. And that's okay. Be okay with that. Because you are the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important to constantly surround yourself with people who motivate you, who make you better,
Mm-hmm.
who will check you with love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and finding that tribe is not always easy. It took me years. I finally found my tribe. um, it it's just really important. And not everybody who was your friend in high school needs to be your friend now, because not everybody who was your friend before is where you want to be. just because you've known them for a while doesn't mean they need to like stay in your life. Sometimes you got to like break ties with people,
Right.
love them from afar.
I like that.
Not that they can't eat, just not at your table.
True. Maybe,
Maybe
yeah,
over there.
but just be like, hey, how you doing? I,
Right.
I agree. I agree with that. Um, but I want to go back to one more celebrity crush.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Topanga.
Topanga.
Yes.
Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Yes, Daniel Fischel. Yes.
She pissed me off. I didn't like how like back and forth she was all the time. I just...
Yeah, true. True. True.
But what about Topanga did you like?
I just like, I don't know. She seemed interesting. And she was always there for Corey.
Yeah,
Like she
that's
was like
true.
ride or die. Um and I think that was like cool. Like they've been through their ups and downs and everywhere in certain episodes. But yeah, just like been there through the thick, through the thin. Um and they liked each other from like they were kids, and now they what got married. And if anyone hasn't seen the show, sorry I ruined it for you. But
You haven't seen it yet. You've been living under a rock.
yes. But yeah, the that's like that's something right there. And it just seemed realistic, just the whole just like that
Mhm.
whole love story and everything too. But worst
Reminds
piece.
Gina from
Yeah.
Martin.
Gina on Martin. Oh
Damn, Gina.
yeah. True. I mean, yeah, Gina, yeah.
That was a very interesting dynamic.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, actually, you know what? This would be cool. This would actually be cool. What? Who? All right. So Nate says Gina from Martin. All right. Cool. So that's cool. Nate, just put in a comment. Why? Why do you like Gina? All right. So while Nate's doing that, type in what was the worst piece of advice you've gotten?
Ooh. Wait till you're ready because you're never going to be ready.
Like that.
Um,
Because you'll never be ready. If you
no.
tell someone, "Oh, wait till you're ready," what is what? You're gonna be what?
What's
Naked
ready?
in bed, and then your dreams are right there, and it's like you waited too long.
Right. Don't wait till you're ready.
Mm-mm.
Believe it or not, my mom told me that. Wait till you're
Mm.
ready. So it's really tough to say that my mom was the one who gave me the worst piece of advice.
Now, we should clarify. Wait till you're ready on certain things, not everything. Maybe career goals, you might want to go and say, I know I can do this. Let me see. If it's something else, maybe think about it. Now, do
Well,
you think it's more thinking about it than just doing it? The whole wait till you're ready, maybe advice.
yeah. So, I mean, see, I want to say something, but I'm going to end up contradicting myself with something else I'm about to say. So, I think so back to what we were talking about earlier about how you have to pass certain levels to get to another level. You can't get from kindergarten to high school, all that stuff because you have to be ready for the next level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think if you wait till you're ready to do something that you've always wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
then that might be the worst thing you can do if the opportunity is already presenting itself. There's a reason why the opportunity is already presenting itself is because the universe already said you're ready. You're telling yourself you're not ready. Um, so is it wait till you're ready or is it wait till you think you're ready?
Hmm. I like that. Ready, wait till you think you're ready.
Because you probably are ready, but you're telling yourself you're not.
Sure, it's like, you know what, I'm ready, I can do this, but then your brain is like, you sure about that? You sure you're ready? Maybe you should hold off.
Right.
You're not ready. You
Maybe
sure you
not
got
ready.
all the gear you need? And then that's that rat race. You keep
Yep.
going, just running. It's like gerbils. You just keep running in that circle. You need to like stop running on that wheel and just branch out and see what's out there. But Nate,
Nate said,
she was smart and used her brains to help Martin, and she came from an upper class family, and Martin was middle class, and she still stayed with him when he was down and out, and they got married towards the end. That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So one thing, they ride or die, ride or die. They stuck together. Um,
there's something I do want to say about that.
yes.
Because it's important. I don't want people to get the wrong idea that it's okay to stay with someone and ride and die with them. If it's detrimental to your mental health.
There you go.
A lot of people got that twisted and confused.
Mm-hmm.
Staying with somebody, as long as they respect you and your opinion and they are going forward in the direction that you're going, it's okay to ride and die for that person. But if that person is doing things that are not in benefit to you or
Mm-hmm.
you or your unit,
Right.
then there's no reason why you need to keep riding and die. There's no reason to die, let alone ride with that person.
True.
So recognize that, um, you know, we definitely want to show that you're loyal, but
Mm-hmm.
loyalty doesn't mean stupidity.
True. That's so true. Now, best compliment you've ever gotten.
Um, um, I've been told that I'm creative and smart. Um,
True and true. Keep going.
um, now this is like I'm feeling like I'm like being conceited. I'm like I'm trying to be humble here, Errol.
You, you can be like this wrestler Bianca Belair. She is the EST of NXT.
I don't know what that
She's
means.
the greatest, the bestest, the hungriest. Yeah, that's literally anything with EST.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's conceited. That's what you said is not conceited. If anyone watching wrestling, they know what I mean. But if
Okay.
not, it's just like, okay.
Went over my head.
So we talked about different celebrities. We talked about like Robin Thicke, Topanga, Kerry Washington. But who would you want to portray your life?
I never really thought about that. Who do I want to portray my life?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean? Like, who would I choose to be
To
me?
to be you. Like if they made a what is it? Like a
Like a
lifetime
documentary?
movie, a documentary, a like who would you say that's the person I want to portray in my life?
Ooh, I know. What's her name? She was in Avatar. She played the girl.
Zelina? Z.
What's her name?
I'm gonna bing it.
Bing.
It's Zoe Saldana.
Yes, her. Totally.
So why? Why Zoe?
Because she's feminine, but
Mm-hmm.
also masculine at the same time. I feel like she is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I relate to her. Like, I don't know what it is about her, but I just relate to her. Just how, yes, thank you. Zoe Zatanna. Um, I just feel like she would do a good job.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
How
There
about
you
you?
go. Who for me? Um, ah, there was this one actor whose people told me he looked exactly like me. Um, I can never remember his name. He was on a BET movie, and it was like with rappers in it. Like I don't know, but he did kind of look like me. That like freaked me out.
What?
I can never remember his name. Um, but who would I want to portray my life? Um, hmm. Even though I watch like certain shows, I don't like now remember characters and stuff on it.
Same.
Um,
I don't know. Maybe it's just old age. I just,
oh no. Hope not.
hopefully not. I suck at that too now. I used to be really good at it. Now I don't remember anybody's name.
Like I can remember past stuff like shows, like there's like, but I can't remember like an actor right now that I would say. Um, yeah, Michael B. No, no. I don't think Michael B. Jordan. I can't see that. Like, I'm just thinking, who would portray me? Um, yeah, I gotta come back to it. I'll let
Okay.
you know. I'll let you know because I have no idea who would want to portray me. But guilty pleasure.
Oh, my guilty pleasure, like something I'm not supposed to do, but I do it. I probably say sometimes binge watch Netflix episodes.
Okay, what Netflix show?
Lately, I'm watching two.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to watch TV very often, so I literally like watch like 30 minutes at a time. And it takes me like a year to finish one season. um I've been really into the Power series.
Mm-hmm.
I finished Power. Now I'm into the Power Book 2, which is Ghost. It's
Okay.
like the sequel to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um I'm really into that right now, and I'm pissed because the next show episode isn't coming out till December.
Mm.
Um the other show that I just started watching is Wentworth. Um
Is that on Netflix
it's on
or
Netflix.
okay?
Yeah. Have you ever watched Orange is the New Black?
Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
But it's Australian and way worse.
Oh,
It's like Orange is the New Black, but with like no holds barred. Like, like there are no rules.
wow. Okay.
Um, I just finished Ratchet. Have you watched that? What's so funny?
That's the show. It's called Ratchet.
It's not Ratchet with a T. It's Ratchet with a D.
Oh, Ratchet.
Ratchet. That is a beautiful show. It's the cinematography on that is amazing. I think you would appreciate it just because we went to school for all that stuff.
Oh yeah, anything with cinematography and like a beautiful, like hands down, Titanic is still my favorite movie of all time. Just from the cinematography, the acting, the clothing, the costume design, old Rose, like everything.
So this show is dark. It's a dark drama,
Hmm.
but the cinematography in it and the foreshadowing is genius.
Okay.
Like, it's one of those shows you cannot be playing on Facebook while you're watching it. Like, you have to watch it 100% attention. It's only 8 episodes. It took me 3 months.
All right, I'm gonna add that. And what does that come on?
Netflix.
Okay, Ratchet. There you go. That's on my Netflix list. All right, there you go. Nice. So let's see. We got comments. Power is Fire by Nate. I haven't seen one episode of Power.
You need
I
to
just
add that too. That's really good.
is in there or 50 Cent.
Yeah,
Uh,
50 cents in it.
yeah, instead of 50, it's 50.
50.
Uh,
It is like a
so
movie, Nate. It really is.
it is like a movie from what I can see. There's Ghost, and that's all I know is Ghost. And the only Ghost I ever knew was Casper. So, uh, but what luxury item you can't live without?
Ooh, luxury item. I would have to say my license, my
Hmm.
driver's license. I know
Yeah.
that sounds weird, but the first thing that came to mind was freedom. Um, I was talking about this with Jose the other day that I am so happy that I learned how to drive
Hmm.
because I don't have to depend on anyone. I just hop in a car and
And
just
you're
go,
good to go.
go.
You know?
That sounds, it's a weird luxury, but
No, but that is so true. I mean,
I
because
like,
nowadays you need your license for everything.
yeah. My mom has her license, but she doesn't drive. And she depends on my dad for everything because she's scared to drive.
Why
Her
is that?
license, by the way, her insurance is like super cheap because she has like no record.
Yeah, that's how you beat the system. Don't go anywhere. Nowadays, we can all do that. Literally, a lot of us can do that. Your insurance is gonna go down. Next year is gonna be like we saved really 50% or
You don't
more.
have to worry about getting pulled over for anything. Just don't drive.
Just don't drive. You'll be good. You know, just be like, I got this nice driver's license, and it's gonna go right here on this plaque because we ain't going nowhere.
Right. Because we ain't using it.
We ain't using it. I guess for me would have to be my cameras. My
Your
cameras
cameras.
and my phone. Probably my cameras more than anything. I just love taking pictures. And if I didn't have my cameras, I wouldn't know what to do. Like it's like I even consider my phone my camera too as well. So if those things weren't around, I'm like, I don't know what I would do. Like
It's like they're part of you.
Bob Ross. I'm gonna make someone look like something else. Won't be a happy tree either.
It'd be a very sad tree.
It'll be a weeping willow by the time I'm done.
Oh
So,
God.
oh, that's great. So, is there an upcoming movie you are excited to see?
To be honest, I'm not really in tune with any of the movies that are coming out.
Hmm.
We don't go to the movies anymore. And when we did go to the movies, it was for Marvel movies because that's what Jose's into, and I really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I can't really think of a movie that I'm excited to see right now.
Mm.
I know the last movie I saw was Hamilton, but that's not really a movie, it's a musical.
Yeah, it's so bad.
What's that?
I want to see that. I really wanted to go to the Broadway show, but that was like 3-year advancement
Yeah.
and a kidney that you wanted to see the show. It's like,
It's on
who?
Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Don't
thinking
tell me you canceled your subscription.
I might get Disney Plus. Cause when I was on the free trial at Disney Plus, I had only 2 shows on there in my favorites list: Boy Meets World and So Weird, and that was it. I didn't care about nothing else on Disney Plus. I didn't care about what shows, what new things, Hannah Montana. Didn't care. Like only those 2 shows, and then you throw on Jet Jackson, and then you have me as a winner. But there's no movie that I really wanna see like that's out there. Um, but In the Heights is actually one that was gonna be coming out in theaters that I really wanted to see because I seen like parts of the Broadway show like on YouTube, but like they was coming out with the movie and I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. But who knows when any blockbuster is gonna like go in theaters.
Everything's been delayed.
You know, I think this is where Blockbuster can come back and be like, yo, put your VHS tape of the real movie here and
Oh man.
then make their comeback.
I feel like if we ever took Mavis into a blockbuster, she'd be like, "What is this?
I'm like, this is called life when I was growing
What do
up.
you mean? We have to be kind and rewind."
She's like, what's rewind? Look, we had the tape, you put it in, you got to rewind.
No lie. She came home one day from when she started kindergarten. I guess
Mm-hmm.
they had a bunch of VHS tapes in the library and they told her she could take one. And she brings home this VHS tape and we're like, "Baby, what's this?" And she's like, "It's a book."
Oh,
I'm like, "Baby, that's not a book, that's a movie." She's like, "What? How? How do you watch it?" I felt
oh, those
ancient.
that reminds me of like that YouTube video of like the kids and it's like the 90s technology and they like figure out how to put the VHS tape in the thing and they're like, I don't know how to do it. Or like the 8-track tape or like the Walkman, they're like,
It's that.
where's Spotify? Where's Apple Music? And it's like, no, you put the tape in there and then you rewind or you put the CD in there
Mhm.
and you hit play or record or whatever.
I told Mabes I'm older than Google, and she was like, "What? No, you're not."
Yeah, we are older
I'm
than
like,
Google.
"Yeah, I'm older than Google."
Mm-hmm. That is true. So I don't think Google will answer this one, but longest period of time you've been awake.
Okay, so back in the day when I was doing school and work and internship and all the things, I would say I was awake for a total of 48 hours.
Nice. Not bad.
Yeah, I crashed at the end of that. How about you?
4 days.
What? Without sleeping?
Yeah. So I
What were you
remember.
sniffing coke? Like what in the world? What?
So I remember this distinctly. So I was 12 at the time. And I remember I was like, I want to I want to stay up and see how long I can do this. So I literally was just watching TV, watching talk show hosts from Montel, Burma, to all these late night shows, Sally Jesse Raphael, everything. And then on the fourth day, I started like losing it. Like I didn't know what was going on. I'm like sitting looking at the TV and there's nothing on the TV.
So you stayed up for
Like it was like
4 days
static.
watching TV.
Yeah, like just watching TV, eating M&Ms. I like stayed in my room. This was like summer break, so it wasn't like I was doing anything. So I was like, I want to see if I can do it. Never again did I do it
Oh
because,
my gosh.
but I was watching a lot of good shows. I watched Tales from the Crypt, everything. I didn't have a curfew or bedtime or anything, so I was just like, this is fun. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I would never even think to.
It's not fun. It seemed fun, but it's not fun.
Oh my gosh.
So, superpower you wish you had.
My daughter and I talk about this all the time. I would say I wish I was invisible. I can go invisible.
Why?
Um, because it would be cool to see what people do when I'm not around.
Ah. So like just like
Or what
just
they say when I'm not
what they
around.
say. Okay. That's cool. And then you'd be like, what you say? They're like, oh. uh I think I know I will always be like, oh, like stop time or something, but I'm gonna think out the box. If I had a superpower, it'd be like an animorph. If I can morph into an animal.
Interesting.
Think about it. I can morph into an eagle and I can like fly. I mean, I only have like a 2 hour window or else I'm stuck. But like how cool would that be to like you pet like a Bengal tiger and then now that part of your DNA, you could become that tiger for like 2 hours or so.
Okay.
Someone out there agrees with me.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
But I think that would be cool. I wouldn't have to worry about travel. I wouldn't have to worry about anything. If I want to run fast, I just pet a cheetah, acquire its DNA. I don't know when I'm going to be able to pet a cheetah, but
You really thought about this.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
did, and I read all the books too. So so that's probably it. But if you were stranded on a desert island, what would you bring with you?
Do I have a limited amount of items?
3.
3 items? I'd say matches for fire,
Mm-hmm.
a knife, and a bottle.
So matches, a knife, and a bottle.
Yeah.
So matches for fire, a knife for cutting things and maybe like getting a fish out the water or something, like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Right.
And what's the bottle for?
To catch fresh water.
Oh yeah, because then you could boil the water
Drink it.
and drink it. There you go. Okay.
See, I would totally survive on one of those shows.
Like Survivor.
I would be a survivor.
I remember I was watching a Mad TV, a Mad TV skit on Survivor. It was terrible. It was terrible.
What about you?
With me, it would be a radio. Um, a radio, a film camera, and matches.
So you would last 3 days. But you would have some beautiful pictures
I have to like
for your
34.
left behind for your legacy.
Yup. I mean, I got a radio. I can tune out, literally. But try to maybe someone could hear the signal and I could get a signal going if I was stranded. But yeah, probably 3 days.
He died while listening to his favorite song.
Listen to our favorite song while I'm stranded on the island. That'll be something. So 2 more questions. Something you long believed was true, but found out it wasn't.
So I would say with relationships, you're read these happily ever after stories and everything is just wonderful and romantic all the time. That's not true. Lies.
Lies.
Liar, you lying liar.
Oh, that's funny.
No, it's not true. If you're in a serious committed relationship, things aren't always rainbows and butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
There are times where you want to just throw each other off a cliff. There's times where you really think about where could I bury the body. No, but seriously, I mean, it really isn't. It takes a lot of work and dedication and love and forgiveness. Forgiveness is huge. To be in a relationship and partnership and friendship. It's not always lovey-dovey and Sebastian singing.
Well, I thought it was. Yeah, you're right. It is Sebastian. It's not Flounder.
No.
You see, you don't want to be floundering in your relationship.
Yeah, that's for me. How about you?
Something I long believed to be true and find out that it wasn't. That the world. Yeah, so I remember growing up, I'm like, oh no, everyone's good, and I don't know why people are bad. Like, that's not true. My mom was like, when you get older, you're gonna see. And boy, within like I see like 2 days, I was like, no, people are mean. People are bullies and they're rude, and why? So me believing that the world was this like nice, kind, like no one could be bad in this world. Like Maury said, that was a lie. Like, I think that's the thing. That believing that, there are good people in this world, and I truly believe there are more good people than bad people, in this world. But just like having that impression, but then when you get older, you realize, there's good people, there's bad people, but try not to lose yourself in the bad and try to still keep that innocence and that goodness in you.
Definitely.
And final one, Lysa, in 10 years.
So, what happened?
Oh no, you're good. This is you. This is your time.
What? Why did you cut me off? Why did you cut yourself off?
This is Lisa in 10 years. I'll come back.
Me in 10 years, I'd say I want to be traveling the world and just enjoying my life. um, that's it. That's all I want for the next 10 years. I want to be able to be stable, to be able to just live my dream.
Nice.
How about you?
And what is your dream? What is the
To
dream of
travel the world.
to travel the world? Okay, there you go. So what parts of the world actually?
Oh, so first stop would probably be Morocco. I've always wanted to go there. Then Belize, and Europe, and South America, and Asia, and India, and I'd go to Hawaii again because
Mm-hmm.
even though Hawaii is a state, it's almost like a whole nother country.
Mm. I
Um,
can't wait to go, so I'm excited.
yeah, I really feel like everyone should visit Hawaii at least once. If you don't have a passport, that's a great way to get out of the country without getting out of the country.
I didn't think about that, and I don't need my passport.
No, it's a long flight,
Yeah, I'm
but
just gonna sleep.
totally worth it.
Mm. Those are you will love Belize. I've been there once, but it
Really?
was for like less than a day. But it was a cruise ship. But no, like the people are nice. Um, I love when the guy was like, "Believe that and believes in us because we believes in you."
What? Oh my gosh.
And I was like, "This is amazing." Believes in you. I believes in you. Um,
Believe in us. Oh gosh.
but it's really beautiful, beautiful. Um, yeah. I guess in 10 years, for me, would definitely be raising a wonderful family and not having to wear Nate. Yes, only you, yes. But raising a family, um, and then having our own businesses that we can leave a legacy and help out our community. Like being able to give back, not just in like monetary means, but in like spiritual means and being there and connecting. Like that's where I hope the trajectory of 10 years will be. Because money is not like traveling the world, being with people that you love. That that is really the most important thing. Because
Oh show.
money comes and goes all the
Yeah.
time. And someone's like, pay up. But the people that you love, that you care about, they will show up.
Yep.
So
Money's just a piece of paper.
that is true.
It is just a tool to get you to where you want to go, but it is not everything.
That is true. Money is not everything. And I have to tell myself this. Money is not everything. Because it's true. Like there's certain times it's like, man, if I had money, I can do this and I can do that. I can help out here. But what is that really doing? Like Rachel said, for your soul. So
Mhm.
that right there, that right there. See, women are wise, guys. Women are wise, literally. So. So thank you very much, Lysa, for coming out. What do you think about the podcast?
It was fun. Thank you for having me. It was my first time ever being a guest on anything like this, so I appreciate it.
Awesome.
I was very honored that you asked me.
Yay.
Uh, I told Jose about it. He was like, "That's awesome. That's so cool."
Oh,
I'm like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?" I feel famous.
there you go. No, but I think a lot of people would definitely take away. Um, I agree. There you go, Nate. There you go. They are wise. Yes. But I do believe people will take away a lot with what you said. Mothers can definitely like learn from you. People can learn from your words of wisdom too, as well.
I hope so. I hope that I helped somebody, even if it's just one person,
Hmm.
um, because it was others who helped me. So it's my duty to pass that on, pay it forward.
There you go. There you go. That's a good closing. So, everyone, try to find someone this week that you know, maybe you don't know, and pay it forward in their life. See what you can do that you can pay it forward. So, thank you again, Lysa. This is Errol E. signing out.
Thanks for listening to Every Moment with Errol E. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now.